Coming up on this episode of Where to Go and What to Eat. We go on a Northern Lights tour. And later, we try all the snack foods.
Ooh. They smell like Gummy Bears, but they're kind of creepier. This is my favorite thing we've had out of all of these treats. Hi, I'm Lance Elliott. We're here in Iceland, and this is Where to Go and What to Eat.
We're driving away from the city lights to hopefully get a view of the northern lights. The tour bus takes us from location to location until we catch a view of this. Wow, that's so beautiful. Holy hell, that's amazing. If you want to see the northern lights, your best shot is to go in the wintertime. For me, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The northern lights were awesome, but the tour made for a long night, so we decided to take things easy the next day.
We just went shopping. Today's gonna be like the day of candy, I guess, because we bought all of the European chocolates. In Iceland, they really love licorice. We'll show you some of that later. They love black licorice. Everything was black licorice flavored. But right now I want to talk about this. This is called Skyr. It's Icelandic yogurt. It's supposed to be really full of protein and stuff, kind of like Greek yogurt, but a little different. They have cups of it as well. But this drinkable stuff is super good. This is strawberry and banana, and oh man, I could drink this every single day. It's amazing. It's so good. I love yogurt anyway, and so this Skyr, it's great. Highly recommend getting some Icelandic Skyr while you're here. Today, our Where to Go is actually just in our hotel room, but we figured for the What to Eat section, rather than taking you to a restaurant, right now we're going to talk about some of the things you can actually buy here in Iceland, just visiting any grocery store. Some of these are specifically Icelandic, some of them aren't actually specifically Icelandic, but they're kind of treats here, and then other ones we just thought looked like fun. We're going to start off with this bag. I don't know if you can see the back. It looks kind of like dried bananas, but it's actually haddock, which is a fish. In Iceland, they eat a lot of dried fish. I'm a little bit apprehensive, but we'll give it a try. Woo! Oh my gosh. I'm tearing up. Man, they should really invent smell-o-vision. This smells so strong. It's not necessarily an awful smell if you like the smell of fish. Let's give it a taste. Okay, it's not bad. It's pretty good. A little weird, just because of the texture. It's kind of crunchy. That's probably like a 6. I wouldn't not eat it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to get this. But you should probably try it when you come here, just because this is a pretty Icelandic thing. We're gonna just try all the typically Icelandic things, which, ironically enough, the next thing we're gonna move on to is some licorice. That's from Finland. Finnish soft salted licorice. Icelanders love licorice. It's in almost all their candies. If you go to the grocery store, half of the candy aisle is just licorice. I'm not usually the biggest fan of black licorice, but the production team is making me eat this, so I'm going to, and tell you how good it is. Oh, that is interesting. That is, wow. You know, I mentioned I don't really like licorice, but I would eat this. It's really salty. I thought it would just have like a little bit of salt on the outside of it. It tastes like when they were turning the licorice, when they were rolling it into a taffy, that they like put salt in it and just rolled the salt all inside, because there's salt all the way through the whole thing. But not like an overbearing, like, wow, boom, you got salt in your face, but it's enough salt. Finnish licorice, if you're a licorice lover, I would recommend the salted licorice. So we'll move on to some more Finnish licorice, actually. Rather than being salted, it's filled with chocolate and fruit flavors. A little licorice tube with other flavors. And I'm intrigued to see if the fruit makes up for the licorice flavor as much as the salt did. Those smell quite nice. I'm a fan of how they smell. I would just like that smell. What are the different ones? Okay, well, if I could read Finnish, that would help. But we'll try a pink one. Maybe that's strawberry or something. I think that's artificial strawberry flavor. Those are really good. I really like those a lot. The inside candy, it's like crumbly. It tastes like someone compacted chalk. It turns like moist and chewy as you're chewing on it, and it just kind of melts in your mouth, and the licorice is not overpowering at all. Yeah, now we're gonna try one of these chocolate ones. You can definitely taste the licorice a little bit more than you could on the fruit ones. But I gotta say, these finished things made a licorice hater actually enjoy licorice. Next, we're gonna move on to a Tritlar, which is 2 sticks of licorice covered in chocolate. A good amount of Icelandic candy is just how many different ways you can eat licorice. Wow, that's kind of pretty. Look at that bar. We're just gonna break off a piece of this. Oh, that doesn't, okay, you kind of have to bite it. It does not break. Will not break. The chocolate outside's really good. I'm really not sure how to feel about that licorice center. It almost feels like the flavors don't match. The chocolate's super creamy, really creamy milk chocolate. And then it's just the licorice, black licorice flavor coming in there. If I were to share a Dormer bar with you, I would eat the chocolate outside coating and hand you the licorice. So I'm gonna kind of cleanse my palate a little bit with something that I'm intrigued to try. It's actually just milk, milk. The brand is called Moo. I love to drink milk. Moo. I'm interested to see how Icelandic milk tastes compared to American milk. We're gonna drink this to try to get that licorice. Oh. Well, we're gonna drink all of this. Try to get that licorice flavor out of my mouth a little bit. Oh, that's foamy. You know, it's not dissimilar in its milk. Tastes pretty much the same, but almost just a little bit like crisper. Is that, not like crispy, but crisp. When you go outside on a winter morning and the air is all like fresh and crisp, that's this flavor. This is the flavor of a freshly fallen snowy winter morning. There's one more specifically, well, 2 more specifically Icelandic things that we're gonna try. First is Skyr. And I think I've mentioned Skyr maybe once before. Skyr is Icelandic yogurt. It's supposed to have a lot of protein in it. It's supposed to be really good for you. I like yogurt, and peach is my favorite flavor, so we're going with peach. I've drunk the drinkable Skyr pretty much every day we've been here. Oh man, I could drink this every single day, which should clue you in on to how much I like it. It's delicious. If you're going to buy some Skyr, either this form or the drinkable form, it's much more expensive at any of the attractions. They sell it everywhere. You can buy it at Geysir, you can buy it in the airport. You can buy Skyr pretty much everywhere you go in Iceland. But it's pretty expensive in places because it's like something that people know about Iceland and want to come and try. And so they sell it at these attractions with jacked up prices. Again, I recommend your first day in Iceland, spend some time in Reykjavik, wait till the stores open. They open around 11 o'clock usually, and they close at like 6:30 p.m. So they're only open for about 7.5 hours. Make a little time in your schedule, go to the supermarket, buy your food there. It's gonna be incredibly cheaper. It's so much more expensive if you're gonna eat out on the road. But while you're there, you can pick up Skyr for just a couple bucks. That's so good. Oh man, that's delicious. Skyr's kind of like Greek yogurt, but it's better than Greek yogurt is. It's like if Greek yogurt decided to be creamier, then it would be Skyr. I don't know if this is like a known Icelandic treat or not. We just saw it and thought it looked fun, so we're gonna try that. These are like little gummies. They smell like gummy bears, but they're kind of creepier. They are little pot-bellied men with actual faces on them. I don't know what Tritlar means, but I'm assuming it means chubby gummy, because that's what this looks like. I really am hopeful this isn't like those Haribo sugar-free gummy bears that like you can read a bunch of Amazon reviews on them and they're quite hilarious and also horrifying. What they do to your insides. We're only gonna eat a few of these for safety measures. The orange is a little orangier. I think it tastes like they maybe put some actual orange zest in there. Other than them maybe not being quite as sweet as gummy bears you get in America, it's essentially the same texture and same flavors. So these are just Icelandic gummy bears. So we have some more Tritlar, actually. But these ones look like to be coated in chocolate, and maybe they're licorice instead of gummy. I'm not sure. I'm really hopeful that they're kind of like the chocolate-covered cinnamon bears. I love those. Ooh, they smell very nice. Oh, but there's licorice. There's definitely licorice. Because in Iceland, you can't just have a candy without also making it licorice. This is probably the most licorice-y of all the licorices I've tried, including the salted one. Licorice lovers, buy some Tritlar. Everyone else who's sane, stay away from them. Drink a little bit more milk to get that flavor out of my mouth. The last really, really Icelandic thing we're gonna eat is this Icelandic chocolate. It's called Sirius Gonsum or Sirius Suðusukulati. This is dark chocolate. It's like 45% cocoa. I love dark chocolate, so this should be really good. This was made in Iceland. This is made in Reykjavik. Ah, you can smell the cocoa in it. Oh, it's really nice. This is my favorite thing we've had out of all of these treats. It just tastes like unadulterated chocolate. It's creamy, but it's dark. I don't know where they got their cocoa beans, but there's almost like a fruitiness to it. They have good cocoa stock. Definitely buy Sirius chocolate. I'm gonna take some of this back to America. Next up is something we only bought because it's named weird. These are Cadbury Fingers. These are milk chocolate biscuits, so I'm assuming it's kind of like a little shortbread cookie thing dipped in chocolate. Kind of weird drawings, it's like happy little faces, and one of them has arms. Some look a little bit surprised, like maybe they're like, oh no, you're going to eat me. We're gonna just see how these fingers taste. Oh, you know what? That is finger looking good. Last up on our list are Mars bars. I'm sure you've heard of these, and if you don't live in the US, you've probably had them. And even if you do live in the US, you might have. But these no longer are sold in the United States. They were discontinued in 2002. Since we're in Europe, we figured we'd buy some Mars bars and give those a taste. The United States version of Mars bars now is the Snickers, but it has almonds and other such things. But the Mars bar itself is just light nougat with some caramel, all wrapped and dipped in chocolate. That's just like smooth. You know, this tastes like if you take the nougat from a Three Musketeers and the caramel from Snickers and just married that all together wrapped in chocolate. That's a Mars bar. I've heard rumors that in Scotland they deep fry them, the way that sometimes in certain places in America you can get like deep fried cheesecake or deep fried Twinkies. On one of these trips, we'll take you to Scotland and try a deep fried Mars bar. So now you're in the know for when you go to Reykjavik, which candy you should eat and maybe you shouldn't, depending on whether you love licorice or not. You've got quite a few options, from savory dried crackerfish all the way to creepy gummy men, but mostly the in-between's chocolate and licorice. And if you can't stand the smell, don't like stinky things, don't buy the fish.
That was a lot of candy. But fortunately, Iceland is home to many of the greatest CrossFitters in the world. So we're gonna go work out with BKG, third fittest man alive in 2015. Stick around for a sneak peek. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. Speaking of which, here's a preview for the next one. We're here at CrossFit Hengel with Björgvin Karl Gudmundsson. He's on track to become a podium winner this year.
Absolutely. Early 2013, we opened up this space here, and I've been coaching and training since then.